Hello everyone, welcome to this video on AWS Code Pipeline. Today we are going to talk about how this amazing tool can make your software delivery faster and more reliable. Let's dive in. AWS Code Pipeline is a fully managed CI/CD service. Now, what's CI/CD? It stands for Continuous Integration and Continuous Deployment, which basically means automating how our applications are built, tested, and deployed. No more manual work, just smooth and efficient deliveries. Now, why should we even use AWS Code Pipeline? First of all, it automates all the repetitive manual tasks in the software release process. This naturally speeds things up, allowing quicker updates and new feature rollouts. It's also flexible, easily integrating with other AWS services and even third-party tools. Whether you are working on a small project or a large one, Code Pipelines scales effortlessly. Plus, it's cost efficient because you only pay for what you use. Let me explain how Code Pipeline actually works. It operates through several stages. The first is the source stage, where the pipeline detects any changes in your code repository, like GitHub or Git commit. Next is the build stage, where code build compiles the code and run tests to check for errors. Then comes the test stage, which runs more detailed integration and performance tests. Finally, in the deploy stage, your application is deployed to production or other environments. Let's break down this image. AWS Code Pipeline is like an assembly line for your code. First, the source stage grabs your code from AWS Code Commit, a secure storage. When you push updates, Code Pipeline detects it. Next, in the build stage, AWS Code Build checks your code with unit tests, then compiles it for deployment. Finally, the deploy stage stores and deploys your app using an S3 bucket. Everything happens automatically from code to deployment. No manual steps needed. The pipeline has some key components you should know about. Stages are the different steps like source, build, and deploy. Actions are the specific tasks carried out in each stage. Transitions handle the movement of data between these stages, and artifacts are the files or data passed along throughout the process. So, where can we actually use Code Pipeline? It's great for automating the deployment of web applications. It also helps in deploying serverless applications using Lambda functions. If you are managing your infrastructure as code, Code Pipeline can automate those deployments too. And for businesses targeting a global audience, it supports multi-region deployments, ensuring high availability everywhere. Security is a priority in Code Pipeline. IAM roles manage who can access what, while encryption through AWS KMS keeps data secure. Access controls allow you to decide who has permission to interact with the pipeline. Monitoring and logging are also covered. AWS CloudWatch helps monitor performance. AWS tracks user activities, and you can set up custom alarms to get notified if something goes wrong. Now, let's talk about cost. With Code Pipeline, you only pay for active pipelines. AWS even offers one free active pipeline per account. Plus, you can optimize your pipeline stages to save more money. Of course, there are some challenges. Complex pipeline can be simplified using a modular design. Failures can be managed by setting up retries and proper monitoring. And for scaling, AWS services are designed to handle large workloads efficiently. Okay, now jump on to the hands-on. I'm currently in AWS Management Console. Before that, I will show you my GitHub repository. Okay, this is my GitHub repository, and these are my files, index.html and JavaScript, and also style.css. This is the script. Okay, now go back to AWS console. Okay, before creating a code pipeline, we need to create S3 bucket, but I have already created one. I will show you. Okay, you can see here, wind and buck one. So this is my bucket. Okay, now open code pipeline. Click on create pipeline. Here we have two options. One is create pipeline from template and another one is build custom pipeline. I'm going to create build custom pipeline. Click on next and I will give you the name. And here we have three execution mode. One is superseded, which is in this mode, if a new pipeline execution is triggered while a previous execution is still running, the older execution is superseded and stops. And in the queued, new executions are queued and wait for the current execution to complete before starting. And in the parallel, allows multiple pipeline executions to run concurrently without waiting for previous executions to finish. So I'm going to select queued and we need to select service role. If you don't have any, you can create with the new service role, but I'm going with the existing service role because I have already created this service role. Click on next. In the source stage, we need to create the source provider. So I'm going to select the GitHub via GitHub. Now you can choose an existing connection if you have already configured. So I'm going to select the existing one. If you don't have, you can select with the connect to GitHub and you can choose your connection name and continue with the GitHub. And I'm going to select the repository name and also branch name main and leave as it is because code pipeline default is AWS code pipeline uses the default zip format for artifacts in the pipelines. It does not include Git metadata about the repository. In the full clone, AWS code pipeline possesses metadata about the repository that allows subsequent actions to do a full Git clone. That's it. And click on next. Okay, in the build stage, I'm not going to build anything, so that's why it's optional. So I'm going to skip this stage and also I'm skipping the test stage also. Deploy provider, I'm going to select the S3 bucket. We have already created one, right? So that's why, and leave as it is as a source artifact. And I'm going to select my bucket name in the bucket. And we don't need to give S3 bucket key, just extract file before deploy, click enable it, and that's it. Click on next. Now review your options and click on create pipeline. That's it. Our code pipeline has been created. Now wait for to be succeeded. Now it has been succeed. So just go back to S3 bucket. Just refresh it. You can see here index.html and script.js and also style.css is here. Go to properties, scroll down and click on this link. You can see here, welcome to my simple website. That's it. It's running. Mm. And one more thing is there. Just go back to GitHub repository. In the GitHub repository, index.html, just click on edit this. In this, just update or make any changes. I'm going to change. It's updated, and also copy this in the h1 tag and click on commit changes. No, it has been changed. So let's go back to the um, code pipeline. Now, and in here, just reload it. You can see here it's been updated. Whenever you change in the GitHub repository, the code pipeline will automatically refresh it and take an execution. And we can see the result here. And that's it. Thank you.